And we're live. Go back and chat, see who's all in here. We have Littlefoot, that was numero uno. 3B Catfishing, Pontoon Jody. Blue Line Adventures, Mike's Fishing Home. And so far, that's it. We have 8 people in here watching. And we have this silver-haired gentleman on the bottom. Freddie's Outdoor Fishing Adventures. So, everybody, let's welcome him.
How's it going, everybody?
If you don't have him, hello, Angel Hawk. If you don't have him, go over to his channel, subscribe, like, comment on one of his videos, and let's help him get out there. Blue Line says, I got the winning ticket. That's funny, Blue Line, because we haven't given out any tickets for winners yet. Oh, we got Chucky in the house.
He's already saying I'm a superstar, huh? I helped him out once, and I'm bigger than he is.
Yeah. Hey, anybody that comes on this show is always bigger than Chucky. So if you have any questions for him, Jody, you can go ahead. I want to get his link to post.
Oh, she wrote him down.
Oh, I've always got a list. I'm an auditor by trade, so I ask questions for a living. Okay. So can you tell us the name of your channel?
Well, it's Freddie's Outdoor Adventures. You know, I started it I've had the channel for about 4 or 5 years, just haven't really done anything but created one. So the past couple months, got it started so we can get out with the rest of the catfish community, and I can actually get some content out there, whether it be hunting, fishing, camping, or my other hobby of gold prospecting. So it's just something to get out there and give more information and have a little fun on YouTube.
And how do you record your adventures?
Well, some of them I try to go live on something, whether it be Facebook and then bring it over and put it on YouTube, or now with StreamYard where I can go live straight on StreamYard and it plugs it straight into YouTube. That's been a great thing, learning that. And kudos to Mark from Catfish and Crappy, actually kind of giving me the keys to get into the StreamYard where I can do some lives actually through there. So that's been a big one. And then sometimes I'm just out recording videos, you know, on the phone with my kids or something and posting. I've only posted, I think, 4 or 5 on YouTube so far. But again, I'm a small man just getting started, and the videos will start coming. And when they start coming, you'll be telling me, "Slow down, Freddie. Not so many videos." So.
So what's your favorite adventure to do? The gold mining or the fishing or the hunting?
It depends on the time of year. Right now, we're getting into big time hunting season. Rifle season actually opens up tomorrow. The past month has been bow and then primitive weapons. So rifle opens up tomorrow, so I'm excited to get out in the woods behind the house and put some meat in the freezer. Again, I go prospect throughout the year, whether it's cold or hot, and I do fish throughout the year, you know, just depending on what it is. Now that I'm getting more into the catfishing, getting more and more excited about it, it's going to be tough to put everything I like to do in a month. You know, it's me and the wife talked a little bit. It may be where one weekend is fishing, the next weekend's hunting, the next weekend is gold mining, and one weekend we just relax and spend some time together. So it's getting busy with the different hobbies and fun stuff I like to do, but I'm going to enjoy it. Being recently retired. I retired from the military back in 2014 and worked a couple civilian jobs since then, putting my wife through nursing school. This past spring, she graduated and got her job as a nurse. And then it was time for me to take my hat off and actually sit back and be retired, to be able to relax some. It's been a great journey. But to be honest, I'm busier now that I'm retired than I was when I was working. So it's crazy how that works out.
Do you want to tell everybody what you retired from?
Well, I retired 20 years Navy. Spent 1994 to 2014 in the wonderful United States Navy. Made it all the way up to Petty Officer First Class, or an E6 for those that do the rank structure. Fortunate enough to make it that far. I was glad I retired when I did in 2014. Like anything, the military is getting a lot of politics into it, which a lot of that's way past what I even want to think about. So I'm glad I did my 20, but I'm glad I retired when I did. It's people ask me, well, what did you do? Well, in the military, I started out as a machinist mate on helicopters, became a door gunner, was one of my side portions of that. And then that rating or that job kind of locked up where you couldn't get advanced. So I changed over to what they call aviation storekeeper or supply guy, filling with warehouses and things like that. So the rest of my service was my primary, for the Army folks out there, my primary MOS, primary job title. But with that, I had a top secret clearance, did a lot of counter drug ops. So people ask me where I've been. I've been there, done that. A lot of my time was spent in South America doing counter drug ops with some of the groups down there. I won't go into details and where it bore some people to death or scare some people, but I've been there, done it, seen it. And it was a great experience, but I'm glad I'm retired now from that.
Well, I want to thank you for your service and everything you've done for the country.
So we have Lyle in the house. We have Hog Leg. We have the Bullock Experience. We have Chris Usleton, Tim Molina, Brian B. Let's see.
Well, there's your first question right there. Maurice Cason asked, "Who is Freddie?" Freddie's a newbie on the scene. I'm a new guy. How I really got kicked off with trying to do more YouTubes and things like that. Like I said, I've had my YouTube channel for a while, just didn't do anything with it. But getting into back into catfishing, James's Patriot tournament this past spring kind of got me geared up. Got to meet Chad and Dee and quite a few other anglers at his tournament. That kind of sparked the interest again to get moving. And then watching some of the channels, it got me real lived up. And so just trying to get out there and have a good time with everybody and anybody I can and put a little content, whether it be funny or relaxing or informative. If anybody watched me, I was on James's Patriot show about a month ago, and he'll tell you, you might see me run around in a onesie. Who knows? I've done that quite a few times just because that's part of back when I retired from the military. Well, when I was in the military, that was one of the things I did to kind of boost the morale. I'd see a onesie at Walmart or Target or something that just didn't make sense. I'd buy it, wear it to work one day, and it would pick up the morale in the group. So I brought that with me since I retired, and I think I've got 25 or 30 different onesie outfits now, from a Care Bear all the way to a chicken. So
you should have worn one tonight.
I was thinking about it, but I had to wear my rock, paper, scissors shirt instead. It made more sense for the show.
Want to be outdoors? No, let's see. Who was that said this? It was somebody in here said nice beard. His backwoods mindset. Freddie, nice beard, brother.
Well, I'm getting there. I'm trying to keep up with that. The funny story about the beard after retiring, we had these keep shaved in the military. Once I retired, I typically keep a shorter beard. Unfortunately, my dad passed away this past January. You don't have to say sorry or condolences. It was a godsend. He had a lot of bad health issues. But before he got real bad sick, he had a ZZ Top beard. It was touching his belly button. He braided it and everything. Yeah. So I told my wife once he passed away, and I kind of settled in with that this year it was going to grow. I'm not doing anything with it at least till next January. I've been once or twice. We went and got it trimmed up a little bit, get the dead ends off, but it's just letting it grow. Come January, I may just keep it going just because I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Wife don't enjoy the mustache and everything as much, but she likes it kind of a short, stout beard, but I like it. And who knows, I might be able to play Santa Claus here soon with all these grays.
You might. And want to be outdoors where you live.
All I do is go in and have the split ends trimmed off and leave it long. Then I just soak it in beard oil, vitamin E oil, let it grow.
Yeah, I've got a lot of oils and treatment stuff that I use on mine. That's why, like Jody asked me, I don't have to brush it. All I do is rub my hands to it. It naturally goes this way. So.
Well, you fellers spend more time on your beard than I do my hair.
Well, you got to keep it from splitting.
Want to be outdoors, wants to know where Freddie lives.
I live in upstate South Carolina, a little place called Hickory Tavern. It's in Lawrence County, just southeast of Greenville. So if anybody knows anything about the upstate, just southeast of Greenville, it's about 20 to 30 minutes from Greenville. So I'm 15 minutes from Lake Greenwood in the upstate, and then about 45 minutes from Lake Murray, which is closer to the center of the state.
Chucky wants to know how does it feel to have a better beard than Avid?
Oh, I'm not getting into that. I don't know if it's better. It's nice, but I don't know if it's better. It's a different color and different texture from the looks of it. So we won't compare beards.
He would get one thing. He don't have a wrench.
I saw that.
You don't have a wrench for tonight, but I'm just seeing how far he can go before someone in chat pops him. All right.
Chad's a good guy. He's a great fellow.
Yeah. Hey, you're in a good group. You got Mark, you got me, and I would say Chucky, but he has a Brillo beard. So I'd count you in with the three good beards. Catfish and Crappie, me and you.
There you
and
go.
I like Lyle's a little bit of his little goatee, so he'd fit in there well. But as far as Chucky goes, his beard would be more for what they'd use for scrubbing pans on a Navy ship.
Yeah. It is kind of scraggly, It'd be good for washing dishes or something.
You had a question from Blue Line Adventure. He wants to know who your favorite YouTube channel is.
Ooh.
You can name several.
I can't say that I have a favorite. I'd probably say the closest one to my heart right now is Patriot James and the Patriot Catfishers of America, just because I've known him for a couple of years now through our gold prospecting and through the catfish community, and what he does for Camp Centurion and the veterans up there. I have to say he would be my top as far as that, just because knowing him longer. Mark and Lyle's channels, those are amazing. And no, I can't forget Chad. I love the bait shop. It's always a good time watching that show. It's a funny thing. I was helping him out today, and J-Dog was like, Freddie, you should be the co-host on the bait shop. Now the doctor is kind of backed off. I'm like, nope, that's not my thing unless Chad asks. But I am willing to help him out or anybody else out if they've just got an open spot or need somebody to help talk. I can talk all day long. As y'all can, as the ones that see me today, he went on a break and I just kept it going.
Two Old Vets has a comment. Avids may look better if he'd quit using shoe polish in it.
Oh,
I don't use shoe polish because you're naturally black.
I don't think he's had the stress that I've had. I think my stress has been a little higher than his with 20 years in the military dealing with that. That's why these are great.
I've had enough stress in my life. I just know how to get rid of it so I don't let it get into the hair. Okay, what got you into catfishing?
Well, again, I've been fishing and catfishing my whole life. But what got me back into it, again, I have to fall back on Patriot James's Camp Centurion, the tourney he did this spring. It sparked my interest, and then watching Catfish Weekly, watching Catfish and Crappie, and then watching the bait shop and numerous other shows over the past couple months have got me digging, and it's kind of driving me nuts in a way because I love my gold prospecting and do it a lot, and it's near and dear to my heart because it kind of kept me from going into too much of depression once I retired. But then I kind of got into a lull, but this has picked me right back up, got the spark going again. So, starting with his tournament and then watching the past couple months and these other tournaments and things like that, it just got my interest. Again, I went and bought a John boat just so I can get out on the water with the wife. We've got kayaks, so we're both in our own thing there, but being able to get on a boat or do more stuff with her out on the water instead of just the bank, and it gives just the excitement. You never know when that big bite's going to hit. I'm sure the question will be asked, what's my PB? My PB blue is 21 pounds, 4 ounces. And I caught that at James's tournament with Junior Proctor, and I learned so much that one day from Junior, just how the catfishing community has changed and grown since the time I was a kid. Dragging planer boards, dragging baits, bumping baits. It's just so much stuff that I'm starting to get interested in. And I'm wanting to learn more and more. And every one of these channels, I'm learning a little bit by a little bit each week. Again, and then it comes down to the weights. Today's weights, Jody, with the golf ball weight, that just blew my mind that you could actually make a weight in the form of a golf ball. But that was amazing. So the different tools and tricks and things that people have out there is just it makes your wheels turn. Wants to do more and more, and then get out there and just have fun.
Okay, now let's talk about your setup for fishing. What kind of poles and reels and lines and hooks?
My main rods up until a couple weeks ago, after talking to Creole, were 10-foot rods. Cat busters from Bass Pro, and your cheap generic Shakespeare spinning rod, whatever I could buy the cheapest. So I think my rods were 10-foot heavy, medium heavy to heavy rods with Shakespeare. The cheapest thing you could buy at Walmart on them for the longest. Past couple weeks, over the past couple months, I've been seeing more and hearing more about 7 to 8 foot rods. There's medium heavy 7 to 8 foot rods. And then speaking a little bit with Creole, Jeremy from Creole Catfishing, his go-to is at 7.6 to 8 foot. And so I said, heck, I need to get some short ones to see how much different it is. And to be honest, now that I've got my boat, I'm glad I bought a couple 7 to 8 footers, because it's a whole lot easier to cast from that John boat with that 8 foot pole than it is that 10-foot pole. Get more distance, and the bite, you can feel the bite. I hate to say you can feel the bite better, and you get more pull with those shorter, stockier rods, as I want to say. So yeah, now I've got some smaller rods that's 7 to 8 foot. My wife was using my 10-footer as well. She just couldn't cast them. So we went and got her a couple 7-foot rods. She's a big Zebco 888 button push type. I don't think I'll ever be able to get her into a spin or a bait cast. She just loves the button pushes. So, and it's something easy for her to use, because she don't get to spend as much time on the water as me, being a nurse and everything. So that's kind of what our setup is. As far as what style that we use, we usually, like I said, we bank fish forever, fish from the kayak, Carolina rig mainly. But now I'm starting to learn how to drag and bump, doing a more Santee rig to get that bait just off the bottom a little bit, and that seems to be a big trick that I didn't have a clue that you could even do. There's a 1 minute short on my channel that I did day before yesterday with my son. We went and did a drag with my John boat for the first time ever, just to try it. We had 2 rods, and he caught a 2 pounds, 7 ounce channel from dragging using the Santee rig. So those different things that I've learned have helped me a lot. And, so I've been taking little bits by little bits of each thing that I like to try and try them out. Everybody talks about, I love James's Patriot floats. People use them differently. I'm kind of Junior Proctor's got the new little clips on the back of it that James provides. That are set up on your planer boards that holds that line in there, and so he's got those set up on the bobber. I've got them where I just barely clip them so I can float the bait back where I won't pop it one time. It clips off the bobber and sinks to the bottom. So then you're not suspended no more. You're back on the bottom, but it helps get out there. So just a little bit of different things. So I hope that answered everything.
Yeah. As far as the 888, let your woman use them.
She loves them. She loves them. She loves
I've got several of them. My PB blue cat come on one, 45-pound blue cat. I pulled it with the 888.
Yeah, in fact, there's her newest one. It's still got the Walmart line on it, which I'm going to pull it off and put some good line on it. But yeah, she loves them. My kids like using them. My son's actually starting to do spinning reels a little bit. So but they're fun.
If I take some 888s out with me fishing, I guarantee I'll catch more on those than I will my others because I can cast them better and I can get them more fine tuned into some areas. So
Jody,
they're great rods. Yeah, I mean great reels.
Yeah, they are. They're strong.
Jody, Chester White wants to know what size of motors on your pontoon.
I think it's a 45.
And if you're new in here, please hit the subscribe button, the bell notification, and thumbs up.
I had to look at it for a second. Mark said 808. He didn't have no 888. I did have to verify that it is an 888.
888. They're all metal.
Oh yeah, the wife's probably laughing at me and like, "Why are you touching my rod?" And she's in the other room watching. So.
That's funny.
He's going, uh-oh, Nina's mad now. He's touching her pole.
Is Nina's kayak crew your wife?
Yes, ma'am. That is her. She's in here chatting away, and she's actually getting her into it too. Again, this upcoming couples weekend, we're actually fishing Sunday on Chad's couples tournament. This will be her first tournament fishing.
Yeah.
Again, I did James's as my really official first tournament since retiring and being younger. So trying to get her out there. She created her channel just to create one, just so she could go on other people's channels. And it's funny, we looked at the difference of our channels. I've got, I think, 4 or 5 videos out there, and I've got a couple hundred, maybe 150, 200 views. She's got 2 videos, one of me just playing in the kayak out in the water that she filmed and put on there, and she's got over 1,000 views on those 2 videos that she's got. So she's got more views than I do. I've got more subs right now, but we'll see. Yeah. But it's to get her out there too. Well, I was thinking about that today. Do we want to keep our separate channels because I do a lot more outdoors and things like that, or do we make one together, kind of like 3+1? You know, hooks and hammocks. Chris and Telly, they do it together. We'll be doing a lot together, but do we put it on her channel or my channel? So we may keep them separate. You know, Sharina and Thomas have theirs separate, and I think Sharina kind of talked Thomas into making one, but.
Yeah.
So we may keep them separate, but we may end up combining it and put it together at one point or another. We just don't know yet. So
you're talking about Thomas. Someone needs to make a net video for him to watch.
Thomas is a really cool guy. You know, I haven't got to meet him in person, but watching his videos and the interaction between him and Serena, you know, that's what it's all about. Yeah. Being out there with your other half, your spouse, your girlfriend, your best friend, whatever you got, just being on the water with them and your kids. You know, if you got kids, grandkids, great grands, just being on the water, having a good time is what it's all about out here.
Yeah. I tried to help him. I told him, I said, just pretend that the net's a big ice cream scooper and the fish is the ice cream.
No, well, we don't want to talk about netting because J-Dog messed up the other day from what I heard. Ooh, J-Dog messed up bad and cost somebody a big fish. You know, I'm not going to say no more names than J-Dog messed up, but, you know, we'll leave it at that.
And your lovely wife in chat, can we get a mod to post her link to get her to growing as well? Nina's kayak crew as well. Let's show them both some love and get them growing.
There you go. Want to be already posted. That's nice.
Catching fishing Freddies.
I better watch out though. She'll be done jump ahead of me in hook sets before I know it. I'll be stuck at like 80 or 90. She'll be up to a couple hundred on me.
Actually, you came in at 88, and right now you're sitting at 91.
See, we'll be over 100 before you know it. But again, to me, it's not about the hook sets and getting the subs. To me, it's just whatever content I can get out there. If anybody just, whether they subbed or, you know, hook set to me or not, just give them something for them to view that's different. You know, that's all to me it's about. You know, give them a little change, you know, from the norm. You know, you've got certain channels do certain type of things, and you got certain channels that do other things. Me, I'm an open book. I'm gonna give it to you the way I do it. You know, whether you like it or not, you like it or not. You know,
Yeah.
whether it be a thumbs up or a thumbs down, that means you watched the video. I'm not. I didn't get into YouTube to try to get 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 subs to start making money off of it or anything like that. I just did it for fun and throw a little bit of different info out there. So,
Is there any YouTubers you would like to fish with?
oh, there's too many to list. Honestly, there's way too many to list. I'll be fishing with my number one YouTuber, my wife, this weekend. So I have to say that's my number one I want to fish with, but we already do it sometime together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be hopefully lucky enough to go next weekend, the weekend of the 23rd, down to the lower part of the state where Palmetto lives, down there with Kevin and them. He's actually having a weekend camping, fishing, fun weekend. I'm actually believe I'm going to be able to make it down there and get down there and fish with him some. I got the honor to fish with Junior Proctor already at the James's tournament, so that was mind blowing and humbling, and it was an honor to fish with him because he's a great fisherman, especially from South Carolina. But if I had to name one that I really wanted to fish with right now, I hate to say it, it would be Chad and D, just because so much that Chad gives gives back to the catfish community so much. He would have to be the first person I'd want to go fishing with. And the way him and D interact on that boat is just amazing. Whether I just got to sit on the front of the boat and watch them fish in person, or whether I'm back there fishing with them, I can't say we catch them, because if it would be me and Chad, we probably wouldn't catch nothing. But if D's there, we'd probably catch something. But yeah, those two would probably be my number one. As soon as I could, to get on the boat with them, and then of course anywhere I can get. I'm hoping to have the pleasure to go to the Catfish Conference up in the spring. I believe it's in Kentucky in February. I'm hoping to be able to get up there, and that way I can meet some more people in person. I got the pleasure at James's tournament to meet Lyle and Cindy. That was amazing. Not even knowing who he was at first, and then finding out a week after that, oh, he's Catfish Weekly and Panfish Nation. Oh, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know it. So we didn't talk too much, but getting to meet him and some of the somewhat local guys, the Junior War Scout and that crew. And then again, the ones that were just there, I didn't get to meet a bunch of them. I got to hang out and talk to Dieter for a few minutes, the chicken man himself, because he didn't actually fish in that tournament, but he was there. He did stop and talk for a few minutes, so that was great. But yeah, the number one person or persons would be Chad and D.
That's why mine would be different. Chad would be number 20. It'd be loud, then Mark. Then
remember, that's just because he's on my number one on my fan list too. With him being that number one person on my fans list, he has to be my number one that I got to try to fish with. So, yeah, that was Jody. If you didn't know, that was on my Facebook page. I took a picture with that and posted it just to. It was kind of to make a joke. But the funny thing is, everyone on that list have gotten a couple subs from it. So, just doing that alone helped out and get 2 or 3 subs for each person. To me, that right there was worth it. But it was kind of to pick on the chicken golfer Chad guy, but it didn't. It kind of backfired on me when everybody's like, thanks, Freddie. You got me a couple subs. I'm like, geez.
I was going to hang on it tonight to aggravate you, but I didn't have time to make it.
It wouldn't aggravate me. I've gotten picked on my whole life for one thing or another,
Yeah.
So I love it. To me, if you're getting picked on, that means people like you.
Yeah.
If they weren't picking on you or talking about you, that means they probably don't like you or just don't care. So Chad should feel blessed that everybody picks on him so much, because that means a lot of people like him.
Yes, true. Okay, now you're just starting out YouTubing. I am too, but a lot of other people is also. and they're you're kind of scared to do it your first live or anything like that. So, do you have any advice you could give some of the newer ones that haven't took that step yet?
The number one thing I would say to anybody, whether they're starting out or seasoned, be yourself. Just be honest, be yourself, be who you are. Don't try to act one way in this instance and then say you, like me, say I go from 80 or 90 subscribers to 9,000, 10,000. Don't change who you are as you go along. Just be who you are. I'm a goofy guy. I've always been a goofy guy, and my number one thing, it was taught me early in my military career. Be yourself, make people happy, make people laugh. So that's my number one thing is just morale. Keeping people cheerful and happy, whether it be for 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 hours. If you can make a frown or a straight face turn up just a hair, whether it be for a couple seconds, it's all worth it at that point.
Yeah, you got to love what you're doing.
You do. And think of it, don't think of being a YouTuber as a business. I know some people kind of do it kind of as a business to push it as a business, but don't think of it as a business. Just think of it as you getting to show yourself off, show who you are out to the world.
Yeah.
Who knows? You may do one weird YouTube video that somebody famous sees. Next thing you know, you're getting phone calls to be on a TV show or be on a movie or do something that out of the blue. It just opens up doors for you. So be who you are, be yourself, and let the chips lie how they let them fall how they fall.
Yeah, and you have to create content.
Yeah, whether it be
if that's what you're wanting to do, you need to make the content.
Yeah, but the content doesn't have to be, this is what I do every time. It could be as simple as like I did with my son. Doing a 1 minute of him taking that last 30, 40 seconds of reeling in a fish.
Yep.
Well, that's content. Somebody just got to see a younger kid catch a fish and put it in the boat.
That's right.
And it could be anywhere from that informative, that instructive videos and content to just joking around, having fun. Just make it something,
Yeah, exactly. Just have fun.
Yeah.
So you were mentioning you have a boat. Walk us through your boat.
Well, I'm let's see. How do I start? It's nothing fancy. It's nothing big. Nothing crazy. It's I got it from Dick's Sporting Goods. It's a plastic Field and Stream Sportsman. It's a 12-foot long, I think 51-inch wide, small John boat. It's got two platform seat areas. I bought a little 4-horse weed eater motor from Amazon for I think $150, $200 to put on it. And I've got a Minn Kota 30 on the front trolling motor, and then I've also got a 56 thrust trolling motor if I want to put the trolling motor on the back instead of the actual gas motor. So again, it's nothing fancy, it's just a plastic John boat, something to get me started. I've never had a boat per se. I've been lucky enough to be able to fish off plenty of boats, especially in my younger years, but not own my own boat. So I'm happy to own my first boat. Again, it was more about getting something that me and my wife or me and one of my kids could be on together out on the water instead of separately in our kayaks.
Parker wants to know if you have met some awesome people since starting YouTube.
Yes. Again, started at Patriot James's tournament. I've gotten to meet, again, Lyle and Cindy. That right there alone should be having people out here on the channel going, wow, you actually got to meet Lyle and his lovely wife, Cindy, at the same time in person? Yeah, I did. I got the honor to do that. Again, I got to meet Chad and Dee. Big Nasty, for those that know Big Nasty. I got to meet him. I actually got a shirt from him. It was the first thing I've ever won off of any channel. I won a Big Nasty t-shirt. It's my first and only shirt, and it sits back here on my shelf. So, and quite a few others. Probably the biggest one that anybody would think of out of the group that I know would be Dieter. Getting to meet Dieter in person, whether just a few seconds talking to him. He's probably the biggest name that we all kind of think about in my neck of the woods down here in the Carolinas. Again, hopefully I'm going to be lucky enough to get down to meet Kevin and Palmetto Cats here in 2 weeks down to his little camping. So that'll be another big name out there, because he is huge in the catfish community as well.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and then I believe the Carolina Reel Screamers are trying to go down there for that. So there'll be a chance to meet quite a few local YouTubers, that are got way more subs or way more hook sets than I do during that, I'm hoping. So that's going to be a great trip, a lot of fun. Again, big names, probably the biggest one so far would be Dieter, just because it's Dieter.
Yeah. I seen him at Catapalooza. That's where I met Palmetto also. And I think fishing and stuff was there. So you'll meet a lot of people when you go to those places.
Yep. Again,
Nice.
I'm not going to be able to make, the Cat Con that's at the end of this month or next month, whatever it is. I'm not going to make that one, being in, I believe it's St. Louis or, spring, somewhere out that way, Midwest. I'm not going to make that one, but I am trying to save up and set my schedule to the side for the February one. I believe it's going to be in Kentucky in February, and I'm going to do everything in my power to get to that one, because just know there's going to be so many people there, that I'll get to meet in person versus just on chats or in the video. So it's the videos and the chat is great, but when you get to lay eyes in person on somebody and actually shake their hand or say hi, give them a hug, that's amazing. Don't get me wrong. On the opposite spectrum, I think these live tournaments are amazing. You're not having to bring everybody to one set of waters, just like Mark and Lyle had both talked about on their channels. It's not so much of everybody on one water. Now you're fishing your waters that against each other that way.
Yeah.
So I think it's more intriguing that way. And we saw today that when one water is down, a lot of times all the waters are down. Today there was only, I think the most that anybody caught was stand 2, and he caught 3. He had a couple people with 1 or 2, and then a couple with none. So it wasn't a big catch day. So everybody struggled, which is kind of interesting to see, whether you were in the Midwest, Northeast, or Southeast, that everybody on the same day was struggling on different bodies of water. So that's kind of cool. And, there's nothing wrong with the in-person tournaments. I love those because you got the live weigh-ins right then and there. But to me, these video YouTube tournaments and things like that are really cool, because we're doing CPR. You're catching it, you're taking a picture, you're weighing it, you're measuring it, you're putting it right back in the water immediately, instead of having to put it in the live well and hope it stays alive for 4 or 5, 6 hours. So it gives the fish a better chance to get back out on the water and live.
2 Vet says you're more than welcome to come striper fishing with him anytime.
Oh, I love striper fishing. I go down to Murray whenever I can to do a little springtime striper fishing. They're actually starting to run right now too, so I may end up going down there and trying to catch a couple striper just to have them, because those are some good fillets.
And he said he may need a host next weekend too, if you're available.
Well, I'll be available on Saturday, but then Sunday I'm fishing in Chad's tourney. So if it's a Saturday and you need my help, just reach out to me. My Facebook's Freddie Beck, BECK. So if you need to friend me or whatnot on Facebook, just hit me up on that, and I'm willing to help you. Anyone out there, whether it be on a tournament or just a show, or just as a mod, to help out. If you need me on there to be a mod, just let me know. I'm there.
No, Lori the Explorer said, did you mention her at the meet and greet down at Patriot James fishing tournament?
Who?
Lori the Explorer.
Lori the Explorer, I'm pretty sure I saw her, but I didn't meet her in person. I believe I've seen her. And again, that's when I first got onto the scene, learning everything. James actually reached out to me and said, hey, I've got this veterans tournament. I want you there, bud. You're going to be one of my number 1 vets there, because he knew me so well and knew that I just retired, So it was an honor for him to call me and say, hey, I know I'm doing it, but I want you there. I've got you on the boat. So there's a lot of people that, if I sit here and think and pull up some of the pictures from it, I can say, oh my God, that was Chad. That was D. Oh my, I missed this person. Again, I probably did see Laura. I probably might have even said hey to her. Just didn't realize it at the time.
She's hard to miss. She's got a good bubbly personality.
She does.
I
Yeah.
like
And I watched her a little bit live earlier. She was actually on the water fishing. So
Yeah. Now you say you've got a boat now. Or do you plan on anchoring or drifting?
well, my first thought was anchoring, but after drifting with Junior, you know, and well, dragging, I should say, not drifting, just dragging baits, and then actually trying it with my son the other day. I was like, this little boat actually drag baits. That's great because now I'm moving through water, hitting spots, and I can kind of target the fish. Look on my depth finder and say, hey, I marked the fish. Roll right over the top of them, try to get them to bite instead of just hitting the depth finder. Oh, there's some fish there. Let me anchor down and sit here and try to catch them. This actually just it presents the bait more to more fish instead of sitting there waiting. Now, when the fish are moving, I think anchoring's great, especially if you know where they're moving through these channels and stuff. Anchor up and heartbeat and sit there and just drop bait on them.
Do you have a certain rig you like to use, like a Carolina?
Right now, you know, it's that Santee rig with that little bit of, you know, that bobber or something just to get it, you know, 8 to 10 inches off the bottom, you know, get it up. Now, I know some guys do 3.5, 4 foot leaders. Mine's typically 2 to 3. You know, I like that short leader, and my bobber's probably 2 to 3 inches in front of my hook. You know, it's some guys do it a foot, so it kind of gives that bait some dangle. I typically use cut bait. I haven't really used much live. I used a live brim the other day, but to me, I'd rather just go ahead and put the little fish out of its misery, cut his head off, use it dead instead of making it sit there and try to fend for itself while you're dragging it across the bottom.
Yeah.
Live bait works great though, you know, especially when I'm crappie fishing using live shad, you know, minnows.
Yeah.
But to me, something with cut bait seems to work better for catfish around here. That, or I know Lyle's not going to like to hear it, but shrimp, raw shrimp from Walmart or wherever you can get it from, frozen raw shrimp. Take it out. I'll soak mine. I'll put butter in it and soak it in butter overnight. Just give it a butter flavor. I'll do some in garlic. I got, I think, 4 different flavors in the freezer right now for this weekend coming up. Just to give it a little extra flavor, I use some just no flavor at all. These Southeast fish, they tend to love shrimp, raw shrimp, especially your channels. And with who don't like to eat a small channel cat here and there, you know. I love eating the little catfish, smaller ones, you know. I won't keep nothing, anything more than about 5 pounds because, you know, those are the ones I like to throw back up, you know. 2 or 3 pounder, I'll use it to make fillets or cut it up into catfish chicken nuggets is what my kids call them because they love nuggets. So that's what I like to do. Cut bait and then shrimp. That's my 2 go-to baits there.
One more question about bait. What's your feelings on bacon as bait?
Oh, no.
I know who that was aimed for.
We'll just leave it at that. No.
We have a person.
We can put chicken on it. We can put steak on it. We can put anything you want on it, but not bacon. No bacon.
Hello, Carolina Real Screamers. But we have a person in the catfish community that used chicken breast wrapped in bacon for bait. It could have been cooked and eaten. Decided to throw them both together out there in the water for bait. Never caught anything on them.
Lyle would say that's a sin because that's probably 2 of his favorite things to eat.
But I won't mention the person's name though. But that was how'd someone put it in chat that night? a sin against human right. No, not human rights, but sin against humanity.
Yeah, yeah, I'll agree with that one. So you've asked me a couple. I need to ask Jody one. What weight line do you use on your? What weight of line do you use on your rods?
Well, I use 50-pound main line and 100-pound leader. And everybody's like, "You're using it too heavy." And this is the answer I always give them. I'm not using it for the fish I'm catching it. I'm using it for the fish I'm trying to catch.
I'll say that's great.
Now I'm trying to be prepared because I've snapped off on some big ones, and that's not
Yeah,
going to happen again.
I love it. You know, I don't quite go that heavy. I'm a 30-pound guy. You know, I'll do 30-pound main line and maybe a 40-pound leader. You know, I've got some 50-pound line that I mainly use for my leader just to give it that extra 10 to 20 pounds worth. So my main line is just 30 though. At 25 for my wife loves 20 to 25, so I usually put 25 pound on hers and 30 on mine. It's just what we use, you know. Now, if I start getting into it too much and getting these big cats and I get a bunch of breakoffs, I may rethink it and have to go heavier. And again, I don't buy the expensive stuff. That's what I use on every one of my rods is that trilene big game that you can get at Walmart. You know, this is 30-pound. It's the green. I've got the white. And then I've got some Cajun red or some of that high vis green. One of the questions from one of the other channels was, does line color, you know, bother the fish? I don't think it does for catfish, whether you use high vis or low vis. You know, my biggest thing is if you're using a leader, that's where your difference is. That's where you use your clear or your green color. So if they do see it, that part's not going to bother them anyway because that's where the bait is. But as far as line colors, I love a lighter color line, except for my greens, just because at night, if you got a light on it, it shines better.
Yeah, you can see it. I like watching my line. I'll see my line move before my pole.
Yeah. Well, especially for me, typically on I'm being mainly a day fisher. You know, that's me. If I'm a bank fisher, I usually leave slack in my line if I'm bank fishing. That way I can watch the line go. Some people say that's how you lose a lot of fish. Yeah, I might lose fish because they'll nibble it, hit it, and I won't even be able to tell.
Yeah.
But if a channel or a blue picks it up and moves that bait, you can see the line move. So I typically leave my line slack if I'm on the bank, tight if I'm on the water. So
yeah. Now you gonna do some more tournaments when they come open?
Yeah. Again, I've got Chad's wonderful couples tournament that we're fishing in Sunday, and luckily, what makes it even better is Chad and Dee is fishing Sunday as well. So I'm hoping to, if we don't win it, at least beat Chad and Dee in it. So I can say I beat Chad if nothing else. I've got that one. I've actually signed up for his panfish tournament for the beginning of November. I'm hopefully getting selected because I think we're going to have too many people, and it's going to have to be kind of like Mark's 1 versus 1, where you have to get drawn. Hopefully, I'll get lucky enough to get drawn for it. And then I am signed up and scheduled to fish in one more tournament. That is in December at for Palmetto, the Walmart Bait Challenge Tournament.
Yeah.
I am one of the fishers in it. I've already got my bait. The funny thing is, I fish with Walmart bait a lot, so
yeah,
it's not going to be a challenge for me to fish with Walmart bait. That may be all I take because his tournament is you have to have 2 Walmart baits on his list and then 1 of your own. Me, I'll probably have all 3 Walmart baits with me and not even use anything of my own. If I do use anything other than the 2 Walmart baits, it'll either be shrimp or night crawlers, just because that's what fish bite on around here.
No, what are your go-to baits?
My go-to is cut brim and shrimp. That's my main 2 for catfish. And then night crawlers, of course, is my fallback, you know, because if you run out of bait, you can hit the woods and dig a little bit and catch a couple night crawls and get back on the water quicker than anything. So those are my main 3, I would say. Now, I do love to fish with livers, not so much chicken livers because they fall apart too easy, but deer liver, or I've got some bear liver in the freezer. They hold up really well. So those type of livers work great. So I use those when I can. But that go-to is definitely got to be a good old panfish or brim, cut up, or some raw shrimp if I got it.
2 old vet says running heavy is the amount you put on the spool. That's why I get the big bait casters, the big conventional reels. So it holds that much. I don't have to worry about it running out.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I'm an open face guy. This is all I use. I do have one bait caster that I just bought. Again, that was after talking to Creole. I think it's actually on the boat. And it's on my 8-foot ugly stick rod. My very first, I guess you want to say, real name brand rod, my ugly stick rod that I bought. That's 8-foot, thanks to Creole. I was lucky enough to be on Palmetto's show the other night when we actually did the rod review and talked about the different rods. And me being a new guy, I'm on the lower end. Most of my stuff is anywhere between $20 and $40 for most of my rods, you know. Luckily, maybe one day I'll have me an Uncle Lou or a Hellcat or, you know, a Slime Cat, one of those, you know, 60 to 80 to $100 rods. Just to me, it seems more if I'm going to pay $60 if I can get a rod and reel, I'm going to buy a rod and reel versus just a rod. So now maybe if I get famous, I might get one, but let's see.
I've got Big Cat Fever and Berkeley big games I use. One's $89,
yes,
one's $22. They both bring in fish.
Laura said, "Am I a chatty catty like him?" Yeah, I am. Again, that's part of that 20 years in the military. I can talk all day long if you'll listen. So.
David, you have any questions?
Do
you want to get in on this?
About your line, what is your what would be the lowest line you'd use for catfishing?
Well, now if I'm going to one of my local ponds / small lakes that we, you know, around here, and I'm going strictly for channels, the small channels and things like that. If I want to catch a small mess of small ones, I'm usually using a 6 to 8 pound line. I hate to say it, really light line, just because it's fun. And I use don't laugh at me because Stans uses them too. The little Doc Demon, little 2-foot, 3-foot rod and reels. Yeah. I love them. It's so much fun catching the small channels on one of those. And people say you got to be scared if you're gonna catch a big one. The small places I go for small channels, that's pretty much all they have in that lake is small fish. You may get lucky and catch a 4 or 5 pounder, but typically you'll catch 2 pounds and under. So I love that 6 to 8 pound line, because then you've got to set that drag light and even let the little ones pull some, and it's just fun. And again, I don't have to swap anything out if I want to go from channels to panfish because I've already got light line on it. So
Chris usually wants to know circle hooks or J hooks, Freddie.
To me, the jury's still out. I use both. I'll throw 2 rods with circle hooks and 2 rods with J hooks. To me, it's not much of a difference, just because I haven't got into those bigger fish yet. You know, that I'm typically catching that 8 to 10 pounder on average. So I hear a lot about circle hooks as a better way to go if you're getting bigger, going in for the bigger fish, just because it helps the hook set better. So I've got both in my tackle box. I use both of them regularly. If I get serious enough and start getting into maybe some of these bigger tournaments, local tournaments where you're talking money and prizes and things like that, I may change my thought and go strictly to circle hooks, just because of the reviews I've heard on them of how much better of a hook set you get on cats, especially with those tough jaws. Those circle hooks seem just to grab in a little bit better. So I'd have to lean to them a little bit, but I use both.
Have you ever experienced one that's got away?
Do what?
Have you ever had one that got away? A story about that?
I've had many get away. I haven't had any huge ones get away. Again, typically most of the stuff with me being brand new to it, I haven't had any big ones get on my line yet. I've lost a couple 10 or 12 pounders right at the bank, or broke off because I didn't check my line enough and I had a war spot in it and it snapped the line. But I haven't hooked into that 30 pounder, 40 pounder, 50 pounder yet. I'm waiting for it. I'm anxious for it. I'm excited, but we'll just have to wait when that happens. But as far as any big ones, no, I haven't hooked into any big ones. Well, at least to my knowledge. So
yeah, you will. You got that boat now. You'll get out there where they're at. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I see Lou putting out there and two old vets talking about being the co-host of the bait shop with Chad. I would do it if Chad asked. If he didn't ask, I wouldn't even offer it. Only if he needed it. That's Chad's bait shop. It's not Chad and Freddies. Even though everybody said I did a pretty good job today, I should take over his show. But nah, that's Chad's show.
You have a question from Tim Molina. You going with it, Evan?
Go ahead.
Do you fish for blues or flatheads?
Whatever bites the line. I haven't got to the point where I've started targeting certain species of cats yet. It's just I'm either anchored or again starting to drag now. Just if I hit a mark on the detector, I'm going to pull over it. And if it's a flat, it bites. If it's a channel, it bites. If it's a blue, it bites. Whatever's biting that line. So I haven't really dug into and started figuring out how to target each one of these species. I've caught some flats. I've actually my biggest flathead was on a trot line down in Mississippi with a buddy of mine 10 years ago. It was 19 and a half, 20 pounds. So that's a big flathead, especially not catching many. And funny thing is, we thought it was a gator because we was in Mississippi, gator country, and pulling a trot line. And the color of a flathead, when it first comes up to the top of muddy water, it does look a little similar to a small gator. So
yeah,
it threw us both for a little loop till we pulled the line up a little more. But again, I haven't got into it deep enough, and I'm just starting to watch some of these videos of how to target certain species. So over the next probably 4 to 6 months, I'll learn how to target each one, and I'll start doing it more. But right now, it's just whichever one wants to bite.
Did you have a favorite one though? A blue or a flat or a channel?
I would say my favorite is a channel cat, just because they're so easier to catch and they're smaller and they're just so much more fun because to me they're more active than a blue or flat. A flat one will go to the bottom, sit on the bottom, and just basically anchor you to the bottom, not want to come up. A blue, he'll hit and run and go here or there. But a little channel cat, he's crazy. He's a crazy little fish when you catch him. So I'd have to say that's my favorite to catch.
And they're mean when you get them in. They won't sit still.
No, they want to fan you more than anything else.
Yeah, but them flathead, them channels, they like to bite. They like to clamp down on you. Even for a 6, 7, or 10 pound channel, they'll bite down on you when you're trying to get a hook in their mouth.
Again, that 21 forward that I caught with Junior, I went to was going to go grab him with a bare hand. Junior said, no, put this glove on before you do it, or your hands will be tore up. And once we picked it up and got him weighed in, you could even see the little parts of the glove where it was scratched. I'm like, yeah, thanks. I didn't even know that. So,
last Saturday, I caught three channels, and he kept trying to bite my thumbnail.
I heard you did a little fishing and caught some fish, and some people said you don't fish, but I believe you do a little fishing yourself there, Abby.
I fish, but a lot of fish I catch, I don't catch on live because I selective harvest. I help supply food pantries with fish for people that don't eat, but I can't get out to the fish. So
yeah,
that's just how I do it. But I did that Saturday because I wanted to get out there and get away from work for a few hours in the fish, and to show people I do catch fish. So, and speaking of that, I do have a fishing hangout every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Central Time. If you want to get on it and just hang out and fish from the lake or river or boat, whatever, message me, shoot me a message, let me know. I'll get you put on a thumbnail and get you set up and
We'll do.
see you Saturday morning.
Yep, we'll do that. Speaking of thumbnails and logos, I actually sent off to get my actual logo that my kind of design. I've got it being worked on right now. So hopefully in the next couple days, I'll have my official Freddy's Outdoor Adventure logo out there and get some stickers and hats and things like that ordered. I actually, my other thing, my gold prospecting, we actually got those on order from my logo for it, and I actually gave away a sticker and a hat that as soon as they come in, we're shipping them out on Chad's tournament today. But yeah, that's our prospecting logo, one of my buddies that we got created. So it's a pretty cool looking logo.
Yeah, it is.
So my catfishing, well, my Freddy's Outdoor Adventures, I have a little bit more of the outdoor stuff, fishing and hunting and camping, that kind of design to it. So we'll see how it turns out. Like I said, I sent it off today. Got some help from some people of who to go to. You know, let's see. Yeah, Jim from Blue Line Adventures. He actually sent me his contact that he went through for his logo. So I reached out to them today, and hopefully the next day or two I'll get my logo. So I'll have an official thumbnail / logo to be out there. So that's exciting right there alone.
Jim's got a really nice logo.
Yes.
Yeah, they did a good job on Blue Line Adventures.
Yes, it looks great. So I'm excited to see what the proofs look like. I'm trying to get them to do me one in black and white just because I love that black and white color stickers and things like that. And then I told them to go crazy on color. Just figure out what color and throw it in it, and then send it to me, and we'll see if we like it or not. So
yeah,
Maurice is
he's got a question.
Jody, if she's used duck breast for flatheads.
If I've used what?
Duck breast.
No.
That's for eating too.
Wrap it, bacon, and put on the grill and eat.
I don't even know if they sell them where I live. I bet they don't.
You've got some specialty stores around here that sell frog and ducks and gator and stuff like that, but typically those you can't find in a regular store. So
I have a small Walmart and a Save-A-Lot.
Yeah, so you probably don't have any.
So Jody, would you like to do a shout out for your Thursday night challenge?
Oh Lordy, I don't have it wrote down. Who's going to be in it? I'm afraid I'll miss somebody.
Just in case someone wants to join you for your future shows and your future challenges.
Well, this Thursdays we call it the Flathead Challenge, and it'd be me and my husband. We'll be fishing against 6 other people. I use 3 rods. He uses 3 rods. And then this week, J-Dog's going to be on it. And I drawed a blank. Snake River, I think that's his name. Then Mike's Fishing House.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to worry about J-Dog because he can't net a fish from what I hear. So
no,
I think you're all right with that.
He may reel it in, but he's not going to get it in the boat.
Yeah, he's going to lose it right there at the boat.
Yeah, Cowboy, Catfishing Curtis, or Luther, then Catfish Curtis and Steve Mosley. I think that's 6 I named off.
Yeah, I believe that's about 6.
Yeah.
Now,
I hope I didn't get somebody.
And that comes on right after Panfish Nation, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have my work laid out for me this week between J-Dog and Snake River.
Well, if J-Dog gets on the big ones like he did, you might have a little trouble with him because that big one he caught the other night was that's a big fish.
But I don't want him to take it easy on me.
Yeah,
I want to win fair and square.
Jody, if they want to get a hold of you, how would they want to? How would you want them to contact you to get in on the future challenges?
pontoonjody@outlook.com.
Would
that sound like a challenge for you, Freddie?
Yeah, give me about another month so I can get my boat figured out, and now that I can get out on the lakes and find some spots, once I do, yeah, I'll be up for it.
All right.
Just give me a couple weeks to get it all figured out.
Just remember, there's no crying in catfish.
Oh, I don't never cry. Well, unless it's deal with my kids or my wife, I don't usually cry.
Hey, we had one person Jody challenged, and he was supposed to take her on the first show, and he backed out due to the weather. Now he's been running back and forth from Canada to his home every since then. So I think he's kind of scared.
He might be, but I don't think so. It was Justin's tournament cats, right?
Jeremy, yeah, he had a storm. I understand. I mean, no fish is worth your life. I wouldn't get out and fish in a storm either. I would have stayed home. So no hard feelings from me for that. And we're gonna fish against each other in the monster hunt anyway.
Oh, I'm just laughing at the chat. I just saw Brian B. Dinkins came in, and he's talking about I talk too much.
Well, that's why you're up here, because you're in the hot seat, not us.
Exactly. It's the Avid and Jody show with Freddie talking.
Uh-huh.
You know, I think I would have done better today if I hadn't used those golf ball sinkers.
I think that was what hurt you the most, to be honest. You know, having Chad on the boat with you, that was the problem.
He got his bad juju in the Tennessee River. Now I have to wait on a couple of rains to wash it on down the Mississippi.
Hey, she wouldn't use the golfer's golf balls instead of using it to torture him with.
Yeah, well, that's what hurt her today. I think those golf balls, Chad had some bad juju put on them, so she didn't catch nothing hardly.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. She should have took some shots at Chad today.
Oh, it's been great. Again, Chad's got a strong skin, tough skin, but he's got even a bigger heart. So even if he don't say it, he knows he loves being picked on. He enjoys it. He loves it. And, you know, like I said earlier in the show, if you ain't getting picked on, they either don't care for you or don't like you. So he should feel blessed to have as many people as he does picking on him. That means there's a ton of people out here in the catfish community that like him and love him. So he's a great guy. I know, Abbott. I'm not supposed to promote Chad on your show, but I have to be honest, he is really good for the catfish community.
He's been very nice to me. Does anybody in chat have any questions? And I'll try to keep an eye on it to ask.
Well, Steve Wilson just asked one. Steve sent me a picture earlier of his buddy. I think he kind of looks like me, yeah. My wife and kids said, man, maybe a little bit. So there's some similarities in that picture there, Steve.
Nina's getting in on it. Bromance rises again.
Yeah, she's been picking on me about picking on Chad a lot lately.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, I've been picking on Chad for a long time. I don't see that stopping anytime soon.
And I seen back here in comments earlier that Laura was thanking you for your service.
It was an honor to serve our country. You know, I know some people can't or couldn't, you know, and then it's everyone's option, you know. I made some bad choices in my childhood or in my younger teenage years that kind of forced me into it. But it's one thing I would go back and do over again. I enjoyed it, every bit of it, and was honored to do it. And again, blessed to be able to stay in 20 years and serve my country for that long.
And Brandy Broyles, what's the biggest catfish you ever caught?
That would have been, I hate to say it, that 21.4 pound blue in Patriot James's tournament. You know, I haven't got anything over that. So I'm in the 20-pound club.
Yeah.
I'm looking to get into that 30, that 40, that 50, that 60 and above. And the local lakes down here, Lake Murray to be one of them. It is a huge lake for South Carolina. There have been catfish in excess of 100 pounds seen in it. There have been a few right around that 100 pounds caught in it. There's actually been reports of the welders working on the dam pipes and stuff, seeing them that they estimate 150, 180 pounds. Some huge fish. No one's ever caught one that big, of course, but there's some big ones in our local lakes, and I'm looking forward, now that I'm learning how to target those bigger fish, I'm looking forward to get out on the water more to try to beat those personal bests each month, each year, and hopefully get into that 70 to 80 pound club one day.
Yeah. I think they're down there, those big ones, you know, you hear about. I really think you're going to find way over 100 pounders down there. I think they're hard to catch. There's a reason they get that big.
Yeah, I see Jamie and Rebecca from Carolina Real Screamer saying they love that. Like, yeah, Lake Murray is one of the big lakes in the state. You know, it's known for largemouth as well, and some great striper fishing. The Bass Pro Tournament Series has been on that lake quite a few times over the past few years. So it is a big lake, and a lot of big fishing is being done on it. So
yeah. And Nina said your mom catches some big ones.
Yes, my mama has. I think she's in the 50-pound club as far as cats. That 40 to 50-pound club. She catfishes and she loves it. And she lives down there basically on that lake, which is about 45 minutes to an hour from me. So I get to go down there and see her sometimes, and haven't been able to fish with her lately because either I'm busy or she's busy, but we'll start hitting it up more, me and her, now that I'm retired, being able to just spend a little more time with her.
So, if you could go anywhere in the United States and fish for blues and flatheads, where would it be?
I've been lucky enough in my military career to fish the Tennessee River a little bit when I was stationed, in Tennessee. I've been lucky enough to fish the James when I was stationed in Virginia. Been lucky enough to fish the Mississippi a little bit, So the big waterways I've kind of fished, wasn't trying to catch catfish, was just fishing. I don't know. I couldn't really tell you what big waterway I'd want to go fishing on. I hear the Missouri's really good. And if I get the Missouri, I'm closer to Lyle than them out that way, So to me, it's, yes, honey, Maine does have some monster stripers. I just saw a post up there. We caught some big stripers when we were stationed in Maine. I'm a big Carolina guy. I love my lakes and rivers here in South Carolina. There's quite a few that now that I'm targeting catfish that I'm going to get back on and do a lot more fishing on, because I know there's some huge fish. Especially a lot of people overlook the Savannah River. The lower part of South Carolina basically runs the South Carolina-Georgia border. The Savannah River is known for some large cats. So I plan on going down there quite a bit and trying to catch my PBs and getting bigger fish from there. So I'd have to say, staying here in South Carolina, hitting some of the places I haven't been able to. Just, again, it's that local hometown boy. So I guess I can't say out of state until I get all my state done.
Yeah.
If you and Nina had the chance to go down and fish with Creole, would you do it?
I'd be driving and leaving right now if we had a chance to go fish with Jeremy and Laura. I'd love to be able to go down there and meet Jeremy and Laura in person. Hopefully, if nothing else, I'm hoping that they're going to be able to come up, or at least one of them, maybe Jeremy, come up to Patriot James's Patriot tournament next year. Maybe get to meet him, and we've heard quite a few people that weren't there this year kind of voice their commitment to come to his tournament because again, it's about the veterans and Camp Centurion and that type of thing. So that tournament is getting bigger and bigger every year, and more interest is being drawn to it every year. So hoping to maybe meet him there, if nothing else. Again, I've got some retired military friends that live in Biloxi, Mississippi, which is, talking to Jeremy, it's right down the road from him. So that may be one of those trips we go to visit friends and then go visit to meet up and fish with Jeremy.
Hello, Gina Ladybug. Now, if you had a chance to fish with Laura the Explorer, would you take it up?
Yes, I'd love to go down. If I'm not mistaken, Laura's the Myrtle Beach area. Right, Laura? Aren't you the Myrtle Beach up that area kind of fishing? Or are you more down towards Charleston? I can't remember if she's more towards Myrtle Beach or more towards Charleston, but she's laughing at me. What? I just need to know if she's more Myrtle Beach or Charleston. That's all I need to know. But yes, we'd love to go down there and fish with her. Oh, is that?
So, anybody have any more questions for Freddie?
Yes, I got that, honey. I hear my wife in there laughing. When you asked that, she said elbow cough. Yeah. No, yes, it'd be one of those family trips to meet Laura. But yes, I'd love to go down there and fish. I'd love to go fishing with any of my local Carolinians, South Carolina, North Carolina people. So, Laura was laughing at Avid too.
No one had to ask questions. No, that'd be a get together. Fishing with Laura, the Carolina Reel Streamers, come out of catch and all them. Yes,
again, I'm hoping that at the end of the month, I believe it's the weekend of the 23rd, Palmetto's got the camping fishing trip down at the lower part of the state. As long as everything goes well, I'll be down there with them, enjoying getting to meet a bunch of the local YouTubers, I want to say. Yes, Sunfish Assassin said it right. It's not South Carolina around here. It's South Kakalaki. So,
what's your next favorite fish? You target. If you couldn't have catfish, what else do you like to catch?
It would be brim. I love a good brim. They're fun to catch. They go crazy when you hook them.
Yeah.
Crappie are great. Crappie, however you want to say it. Perch are fun to catch, but bluegill would be my next to favorite as far as fishing. And then right behind them, a close second will be stripers. I love catching a good striper.
Yeah.
Just because we've got some big ones around here.
Now, how big is big?
Let's see. My personal best striper is 42 pounds, I believe.
Yeah.
My mom has caught some huge one. My uncle that lives down that way, he's got a couple 60-pounders up on his wall.
Yeah.
So we have some large stripers. Again, Lake Murray, landlocked stripers. So you figure they wouldn't be as big as the salt waters coming in to spawn. But these landlocked stripers we got in South Carolina are some of the biggest ones I've ever seen as far as freshwater.
And you kind of talked about the direction of your channel, but do you have a certain direction you are wanting to go with it? So how you wanting to broaden it into?
Mine's going to be more of a every outdoors. It's not going to be specific to fishing. Being that I do so much other stuff, camping, fishing, gold prospecting, hunting. Mine's going to be more of a fun channel. It's not going to be so much, this is my rifle. Of course, I'll show that one or two or something like that. But it's going to be more fun, just being out there having fun. Again, like James said when I was on James's show, he'll tell you, You may see me video on a squirrel eating corn in my food plot, and then it paused the video, and 5 seconds later, you see me running through the same corn area with a squirrel onesie on. Yeah, you never know. It could be as simple as that. And then me talk about squirrels. It's just something that I've kind of wanted to grow the channel as being fun and informative. That's kind of where I'm looking at. I may decide exactly which way I want to go, but right now we're going to keep it fun and family and things like that.
Now, can we expect to see you and Chad in matching onesies this coming weekend?
No, they're not going to be matching onesies. However, from what I am hearing and being told, Chad will be in golf attire. Whether it's Saturday or the day he's fishing Sunday, he should be in golf attire because I believe Dee has already ordered some golf attire for him to wear. Myself, again, if I lean back on my gold prospecting logo and things like that, it's called Kilt Brothers, and it's Kilt Brothers for a reason. I've got 5 kilts that I wear on occasion. So you may see me in a kilt on Sunday. So that's probably where I'll be at. I may be in a onesie instead, but who knows? I haven't decided what I want to wear yet. Now, me and the wife will have our matching shirts on because we bought some shirts when we do tournaments together and things like that, just because it's cool to look good together. So we will see. And there's J-Dog. He finally shows up. I'm hoping he went and got those netting lessons earlier today is what I'm hoping. Because without those, I don't think he has a chance against you, Jody. So, but yeah, who knows? I'm hoping Chad will live up to what he says and actually wears the golf attire. Maybe even have his golf clubs with him.
Yeah.
Because I heard somebody dropped him off some golf clubs and a golf rod. Because that'll be it'll be nothing but good fun. It'll play into playing and picking on Chad. It'll play into that very well.
Yeah. Maybe he can golf off the boat.
That would be fun to see. Chad. Well, it'd be fun to see Chad just swing a golf club, to say the least.
Well, hey, we already know Chad likes big divots on the back nine, so he just put a big dent in his boat anyway.
Does anybody in chat have any questions they want to ask?
Yeah, we're going on an hour and 20 minutes. So, woohoo! And I think I talked the whole hour of it. So,
you were talking earlier about primitive rifles.
Black powder. Yep.
What is What is your caliber of black powder that you use?
I believe the one I've got is 50. Just because that's what was cheap when I bought it. I didn't do any black powder this year, which was this past week, and then the couple weeks before that was bow and crossbow. I did get the crossbow 3 times so far, and missed one small buck because I didn't sight him in. I didn't take my rangefinder and see exactly where he was. He was at a weird angle, and I just missed him. So I haven't got my deer yet. Usually I kill 6 to 7 every year. That gets me enough meat in the freezer where I don't have to hardly buy any store-bought meat throughout the year. So that's my goal every year, 6 to 7. Yeah, but a 50 cal is what my black powder is. Just because it's a little bit bigger bullet, makes a little bit bigger hole, makes it a little bit easier to kill a deer with it.
Now, I have 3 black powder rifles. I have the 45, a 50, and a 55. And mine are flintlock cap locks. Are yours flintlocks or are they inline?
They're inline. The one I have is an inline.
I like mine because mine are like the plains rifles, the really long barrel. But I've thought about buying an inline, but I don't know.
It's just easier to deal with to me. Having that straight inline throw the powder down it, the powder sticks down it, throw the lead in it, push it down, put your cap in line, and you're good to go. It's quick and easy to reload if you have to, but I usually, again, I love hunting with it for that week, but if it ain't during that week, it usually stays in the safe locked up because I'm more of a crossbow or rifle guy. Once rifle season opens, which is tomorrow, my crossbow will get put up too, and it'll be rifle the rest of the year. Good thing about South Carolina, we have one of the longest hunting seasons out of the states. Our hunting season actually starts August the 15th, runs all the way to the 3rd of January. So we got a long hunting season here in the Carolinas.
Good night, Nina. Be safe.
Yep, she's getting off because she's got to go to bed here in a minute so she can get up and go to work tomorrow to support me now. So what I forgot, we're going on an hour and a half.
Yeah, I think I've learned a lot about you. I can't think of anything else to ask.
Well, that means I've talked enough to keep your ears burning, and I'm sure you'll think of some stuff later.
Jody Blue Line wants you to say ankle biters.
Ankle biter.
Ankle biter.
Jody's got to say ankle biter because it's biter. It ain't biter. I know some people, you got to pronounce, no, it's biter. It's like a Bidder.
He's talking about the comment I give J-Dog up in the chat.
J-Dog's trying to figure out why Tara was fishing a tournament and watching me. That I can't answer. I don't know the answer to that one.
Oh, that's a trick question, Chris. Chris Olston asked, Ford or Chevy, man? I've been a Ford man my whole life, and I broke down and bought me a Chevy. This truck I just bought last year is a Chevy, just to try something different. I love it, but kind of wish I would have stayed with Ford.
J-Dog, I will say this. It was an honor that she's fishing in the tournament and watching me at the same time. I feel blessed.
Yeah, somebody said Dodge. No, won't ever buy a Dodge. Too many family members had issues with Dodges. Never will. You'll never see a Dodge in my yard. Sorry.
I'm a car girl.
Yeah,
I'm a car.
It's either going to be a Ford or a Chevy as far as pickups. Again, I bought the Chevy just wanting to try something different, and I love this truck, but once I get done with it, to go get me another one, it's going to be right back to a Ford. It's just something about the Ford,
Mm-hmm.
It ain't so much the name. It's just the way, to me, it rides, the way it feels.
No, I did not see that. Do you have a video of it or a picture of it? Just send me. I'd like to see that, J-Dog.
What, is that the flathead that she lost because he couldn't net it, or is one she actually caught?
She caught it in my pole and landed it.
Was that somebody else netting it for him? Because I don't think he does that good of a job.
Apparently, he did it good enough to get it in the boat.
Oh, it was on the tournament.
Was that the day, J-Dog?
It would have been yesterday if it was the couples tournament.
I was fishing yesterday morning when that was going on, so I wasn't able to see it.
Oh, we'll see, J-Dog. Jay said I can't fish worth a lick. We'll see. Nobody's really seen me live or in a tournament catching them, so we'll see Sunday. You'll be able to see what good old Freddie can do come Sunday. We'll just leave it at that.
Let's see, the only as far as you and Chad, I see you beating Chad, but I don't see you beating D.
Yeah, that's the only concern I got, that Chad and D I have to deal with.
Well, see, you got neither to take care of D.
Yeah, so if it was me versus Chad, I'd have that hands down all day long. But with D being on that boat, that's going to make it a little more challenging. But again, I got my secret weapon with me come Sunday. The wife, she can catch them better than I can. I hate to say it, but she'll catch them, swing it around to me, take it off the hook, honey. And she'll throw it right back out and catch another one. By the time I'm getting ready to throw a rod out, she's usually bringing 1 or 2 in on me. So I think we're going to do pretty good Sunday. I can't give up all my secrets, but I think the most fish, if it stays at 13 like it is right now, there's a really good chance that'll go down. And the smallest fish possibly too. And there's a very, very slight chance the biggest fish, but definitely the most and the smallest are in jeopardy if we get to be able to fish in our hole that we usually do.
So what is your wife's personal best catfish?
Her personal best, we haven't really weighed it. It'd be in the mid-teens somewhere, probably that 14 to 15 pound range. Again, we just fish for fun mainly until me getting into this catfishing scene and learning. So the goal is to start getting her personal best up and mine at the same time. Hopefully we'll both be in the 30s and 40s and 50 pounders in the next couple months is the goal. And then I could say we're accomplished once we get into that. I say once you hit that 50 pound and better, then you're starting to be an accomplished catfisherman. Then, that 30 pound, 40 pound is nice, but when you see those 50 pounders that everybody else is catching, it gets envious. So once you hit that mark, I think that's where you can say we're real now. We're real fisher people. So,
Catfish are like Pokemon. I want to catch them all. So, I know you briefly went over what you have planned for your channel. What are your goals?
Just to put content out. Again, my goal is not to get to that 500 or 1,000 anywhere in the near future. My goal is just to get fun content out there and have people have something a little different to watch. Yeah, I'd love to get to that 100, 250, 500, 1,000 and up eventually, but I'm in no rush to get there. Like they say, you got to crawl before you can walk and walk before you can run. So I'm not trying to push too much content out there, because 9 times out of 10, if you start trying to go too fast, you push the wrong content out and you lose a lot more than you'll gain. Right. So I'm going to put a little bit out here and there, and it's going to be fun.
J-Dog says hashtag Freddie the new dockery.
I seen that. He was pushing that a lot today too on the tournament, wanting Chad to pick me up as his backup like Dockery was. and again, people have asked me would I do it. I would do it. I'd help Chad and be on the bait shop every week if he asked me to. Just because that's one, helping him out. 2, just being live is fun. I think it's fun being live. This is a blast.
Well, there's some Mac talk between Jody and J-Dog in chat.
I'm watching this. This is getting interesting.
Freddie did amazing, and that's the truth. He was a natural.
Again, I'm a talker. If you'll sit there and listen, I'll talk your ears off, which I've pretty much done tonight.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do, being on the hot seat. What would be your funniest moment in fishing?
I've slipped off of too many banks to name one specifically, but I've fell in many creeks and many rivers from the bank fishing, just slipping. So that would probably be the funniest, just taking one of those blooper slips and falling in. I fell in. I want to say last fall in a creek, and luckily I had my phone in my hand, was able to keep it out of the water, but the rest of my body was wet. So something like that would probably be the funniest as far as right now. I gotta my gut's telling me, being that this John boat's only 12 foot long and kind of narrow, that there may be a funny in it, because I'm a pretty big guy. You know, I'm 5'10", so I ain't the tallest in the world, but I'm 220, 230 pounds. So I'm not a light fella, and a little bit of John boat like that tends to rock with some waves. So hopefully it won't happen, but I would not be surprised if I did a tip at one point.
I foresee a boat that's going to capsize.
I appreciate that, Uncle Lou. Uncle Lou says I'm good at it, though. Talking about speaking, and he says some people you can't listen to, but me, he could listen to me for hours. I don't know whether that's my accent or just me talking, one or the two. Some people laugh at this Southern accent, but, you know, us Southerners, we can understand each other.
Brian B says you're his new BFF. You can drive the boat.
Aww. I don't know if he was talking to me or J Dog. You know, I think Brian B and J Dog's becoming BFFs there.
I don't know about that. They have too much rivalry. So, if there is no more questions in chat, what would you suggest for people starting out in fishing or catfishing?
Just get out and do it. You know, you don't have to go to these specialty rods, specialty reels, especially starting out. Go to Walmart, get you a little old Shakespeare or a little old ugly stick combo, 20 to 30 bucks. Grab you a couple of hooks. They don't have to be 8-aughts, 9-aughts, 10-aughts. They could be your little 4 or 5-aughts. Grab you a little weight, whether you want a Carolina rig it or Santee rig it. Just go out there and throw a bait in the water and have fun, you know. And once you start getting into it, like me, I'm starting to get excited, starting to get into it, watching more videos. Once you start doing that and have the method to go bigger on your rods and reels, a little more pricier, then do it. But start out small. Just start out to expect to have fun.
Where's that question at again? Oh, Brad wants to know, what's your favorite gun to shoot?
Oh, my Remington 270. You know, that's my go-to for all my big game. I hunt bear with it. I hunt deer with it. Definitely hunt coyote and pig around here with it. So, but it's my Remington 270. It's near and dear to mine. It was my first gun I ever bought, and I've had it for 23, 24 years now. I've got
the rifle.
I'm sorry. Nope, you're good. Go ahead.
That was given to me back in 79 was a 308 infield sniper rifle with a case of military rounds I've been using. That is a rifle I love, but since I moved to Illinois, there's nowhere to shoot that gun. So I keep it cleaned and locked up in the gun locker.
Yeah, my very first gun is a 243 that my dad bought me when I was 14. I still have it today as well. It's in the safe, and I pull it out every once in a while, keep it clean. I let my son's starting to hunt with me, so he'll be using that this year himself. So that's my gun. It's going to be a pass down. And I seen J Dog's question. He was while he's messing with Jody, he's also asked, "Do I think I can hang with J Dog in fishing?" Now that I've got a boat, yes, I know I can hang with J Dog. In fact, I'm pretty sure I can beat him on any given day, especially since he don't know how to net a fish. He can't net, so I don't have to worry about that part. You know, if it's big enough to need a net, he ain't gonna catch it.
I will say this: between J Dog, Brian B, and Jeremy Crying Cats, or Charlie Brown as we call him now, those people have so long a list of people they have challenged. It'll be 6 years before they even get done with it.
Exactly. So I'm not worried about J Dog. Anytime he wants to fish, remember, I'm retired. I can go any day of the week now, or any night of the week now that I got a boat. So.
We've got the men talking about their toys in chat now.
Oh yeah, now see they talk about guns. I love it. We can talk guns all night, but this is Abbott's fishing show with Jody.
Hey, at least it hasn't went to food yet.
Yeah, well, no, there's been a couple of bacon comments in there. I've been watching those come through, so we won't go into the bacon because that's a sin putting that on the hook. I hate to say it, but it is.
That's a sin, crime against humanity, using bacon for bait.
Yes, sir.
The bacon police should come and get the person and slap the cuffs on them. Man, I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe they did that.
Yeah, Jody, I keep watching J-Dog's comments too. But yeah,
I'm just sitting here listening. I don't have any more questions.
But yeah, I think we're sitting on an hour and 40 minutes, so I'm pretty sure people are about ready to get done. J-Dog will stay on here all night and mess with everybody. J-Dog would, but I think we've done a pretty good show tonight. It's a pretty good show. I've enjoyed it. I'm glad you asked me to come on it, and I've I like watching your show, but being on it's even funner. So anytime you need an extra person on, you just let me know and I'll jump in.
Brad wants to know what your favorite sweet snacks are.
Oh, I'm a big honey bun guy. I gotta have my honey buns, and I have to give it a two stands. I'm a honey bun Mountain Dew guy at that. I'm a Mountain Dew guy and a honey bun. That's my go-to drink / snacks. Is a good old Mountain Dew and a honey bun. And it's not one of those white cream or anything. It's just your plain old glazed honey bun.
Yeah.
The white one's good. The chocolate covered are okay. But the glazed ones is where it's at.
Yes, Josh, we did say snacks. And that brings up another question. What snacks do you take on your boat or fishing?
Well, let's see. Now that I got a boat, I haven't taken any on it yet, so we'll see. Most likely it'll have some type of Powerade or Gatorade because you always have something to put your electrolytes back in. I'm not a big water fan, so that's where I lean to my Gatorade or Powerade. And then, of course, Mountain Dew. Got to have old Mountain Dew on the boat. And then honey buns. That'd be my sweet snack. And if I'm taking a lunch sandwich or something like that, it's good old ham sandwich. Got to have a ham sandwich on the boat if I'm going to eat a sandwich.
And Jody, what about you?
I ate a bologna sandwich and Funyuns today.
Now, Funyuns are good. Funyuns are good.
Then I had a pumpkin roll. I had some of it.
I'll stick with coffee, Pepsi, and water, and a lot of Gatorade, and whatever bags of chips I can get. But basically, I like my sour cream and onion chips, or sour cream and jalapeno chips, or my
Hog Leg said my boat ain't big enough to take snacks on, being a little 12-footer. Yeah, I'll get drinks and snacks on it. Something else might not go on it, but there'll be drinks and snacks on it for sure.
Yeah.
Now they're talking all snacks now, so we went from man toys and snacks, Jody.
Oh, J-Duck says, I lost Terry's favorite pole 10 years ago, and I'm still hearing about it. If this fish situation will never go away.
You're right. The fish situation ain't never going to go away, especially since we heard it was a big fish and you lost it for her.
No, he lost the pole 10 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the fish that he just lost for, 2 days ago, 3 days ago? Big fish that he couldn't get in.
That's bad.
So yeah, he's got a lot of getting out of the doghouse to do with Tara, I believe.
Well, yeah, and he's not living it down over 10 years for losing her favorite pole. What were you thinking, JD? What are your thoughts tonight, Pontoon Jody?
I had a great time. I learned a lot about him. He's very entertaining. He's well spoken. I was surprised how good he speaks, and I mean, he commands the conversation. You can't help. He should be on radio or something. He does really well.
Well, thank you, Miss Jody.
Tara, did he make you lose your 60-pounder last night?
Yep, that's the one we're talking about. He made her lose that big old fish because he couldn't net it.
He'd be out in the doghouse, so that'd been me.
I think that's why I think they went for a hike earlier today, and then not shortly after they come back and he was laying down because he had a headache. I'm wondering what happened on that short hiking trip.
As a married fishing couple, I know exactly what the conversation is when someone loses your fish.
Tara, tell me more about that one. He made you lose a 60-pound fish last night?
Now J-Dog's my biggest fan. How did he just jumped from fan to fan there.
Yep.
He jumps from wagon to wagon. Coattail to coattail.
He's just a little stray dog trying to find a home.
I'm waiting for
he'll never leave.
Uncle Lou's getting him now, J-Dog tried to blame it on Uncle Lou, the reason he couldn't net that fish, talking about he was on the phone or something with him, but
he said Uncle Lou was on the speakerphone.
Yeah.
J-Dog's not right.
No, he's not.
He was busy talking to Uncle Lou on the phone to net fish and missed around with it.
Mm-hmm.
Popped
the hook. Yep.
Yeah, he's definitely in the doghouse.
Tara, I'm surprised you haven't jacked his jaw yet.
He said she was going to. I say she did.
That's why I had a headache today. Wow, we still got what, 28, 29 people in here listening to me yap my jaw, huh?
Uh-huh. Would you ever do that to your wife?
No, I'd jump in for the fish. If it popped off, I'd be jumping in to try to catch it with my hands, so I could say I tried everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it came to the fish, netting my girlfriend's or my wife's fish, I'd drop that phone in the New York second. Wouldn't care if it to the lake, river, or boat. Or in the mud.
Yeah, especially that size of a fish, big old fish like that, I'd have to say, oops, sorry, I'll be right back, and just drop it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd just drop that phone. I wouldn't care.
Again, like I said, if that line popped and I still could see that fish on the top of the water, I'd be jumping in, leaning over, doing what I could to grab a hold of it.
I'd be in the wrestling. I'd be going into a wrestling match with that fish.
Oh, J-Dog said he can't swim, so maybe that would have been a bad idea if he jumped in.
Freddie, she would have lost her fish and her husband. I can't swim.
Yeah. Yeah, we feel bad for you, Tara. We feel really bad for you. A 60-pounder, again, I haven't caught anything over 21 pounds, so a 60-pounder would have been huge. Uh,
I understand, Jerry. You just wanted to put the phone down and net the fish. CYOA, cover your own butt. That's right. That's what they teach you in trucking. CYOA, cover your own butt.
oh me. There's only one on
Oh,
plenty. Oh wow. Yeah, but there's only one terror there too, J-Dog, in your boat at that time.
yeah, J-Dog, you have a wife. You can always call back Uncle Lou.
Yeah. But we've been on here, what, an hour and 50 minutes, almost 2 hours now?
Mm-hmm.
Every time I start
I guess I need to jump off of here, and I think we pretty much, again, an hour and 50 minutes, and I think I talked an hour and 45 of it, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. It's been fun. It's been a blast getting to know Freddie. And if you guys still haven't, go over there and hook set him, hook set Nina's kayak crew, share them out. Let's get them grown. Let's get them up to 50 to 100 subs each. Let's get them growing.
One last thing, Evan. I got to say one last thing. One last thing, and then I'll be out of here. Everybody, if you haven't went and hook set Chad, go check him out. Fishing with the Chad. We're trying to push to get him to that 1K, that 1,000, because that's his goal right now, to get to that 1,000. And I believe he is like 100 or 101 away. Over the past couple of days, we've got him from like 850 to right at that 900. So we know it's possible to get him there by this coming weekend. So if you got friends out there that watch fishing or just any funny videos, share it out on your Facebook, share it out wherever you can. Have them go come on YouTube, check out Fishing with the Chad, and give him a subscribe, a like, a hook set, whatever you want to call it. Let's get this guy over 1K where he needs to be.
Yeah, and help me get to 1K. I'm at 130 something.
Yeah, I know you're right behind him. There's like 3 or 4 of you that's like at that 850 to 900, range.
I was ahead of him for a while until you guys started pushing him.
Well, we got to push him. We're picking on him too much not to.
No, I won't push him. I'd do something else, but I won't push him.
But yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, well, yeah, I know everybody wants to push him off the boat. But yeah, that's all I got. I guess I need to get out of here so I can get me some rest to get me younged up, ready for school tomorrow. So it's been great. I appreciate having Jody being on the show. Anytime you need somebody, just give me a buzz, whether it be on this show, on your weekend show, or whatnot. I'll jump in as much as I can to help y'all out.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, have a good night. It's been nice having Chad's #1 fan on here and getting to know him better. So, with this being said, we will see you next Saturday on the Fishing Hangout at 8 a.m. Central Time. And if you guys do want to be part of that, contact me either on Messenger or on my email on my About page, and I will get you hook set on that and get you set up with the thumbnail for next Saturday. And good night and tight lines and have fun.
Night, y'all.
Night.